home stretch. This is Educating Leaders for the Cloud Era presentation. I'm Dan Myers. I'm a Global Academic Programs Manager with a drop mic. I thought it was good. I'll just stick it in the pocket. There you go. So, as long as that works. And I'm based out of just south of Denver, Colorado. I've been with Citrix for a little over a year now. I came from Cisco Systems, the Networking Academy program prior to that. I launched the Sun Academic Initiative with Sun Microsystems. So happy to be on board with Citrix. Good timing for everybody involved, for me being part of the Citrix academic programs. Good time for you guys being the beginning of this whole cloud era. And so we're going to go through a presentation and talk to you about the following. I'm going to let you know a little bit about Citrix. There's going to be a very little bit of, kind of product and solutions introduction here. We'll talk a little about Citrix, what Citrix is doing in the education community today in terms of virtualizing entire campuses with their products and solutions. But I really want to focus on the Citrix Academic Network. That's what I was hired to design and launch. It hasn't been launched yet, so this is on the ground floor. Mark did a presentation with NetApp yesterday and said he thinks he's one of the new ones on the block. No, I said afterwards, I got to be here. We haven't even officially launched this program, so we're going to talk a little bit about that and what you can expect with the program. The Citrix Academic Network is really a collection of resources and programs, so we're going to talk about the Citrix Academic Network community and spend the majority of the time with the Citrix IT Academy program that we're going to launch in Q2. How many people have heard of, quick show of hands, the Citrix GoToMeeting product or seen commercials on it? Okay, good. How about the Zen Desktop? Okay. How about Citrix NetScaler? That's what I expected. But when I talk to people about Citrix, it's kind of funny. I took the elevator up yesterday with my Citrix T-shirt on. Not the same T-shirt, of course, it was yesterday. But one of the guys in the elevator said, Citrix. He goes, oh, I use WebEx all the time. WebEx is a Cisco product. I used to use WebEx quite a bit when I worked for Cisco as well. But he goes, oh yeah, that's what I meant. So a lot of people know Citrix about the GoToMeeting product, and it does have a whole collaboration product suite that you might have heard of some of the other products too, the GoToMyPC and stuff like that. So a lot of people are familiar with the GoToMeeting and the collaboration products, but they're not as familiar with the biggest product the company has. The Zen Desktop is our software product that leads in desktop virtualization. This graphic over here talks about, from IDC, talks about the leaders in desktop virtualization. You'll see Citrix is clear in that leadership position. VMware is in there also, but that's a real big product of ours. And again, I'll show a 2-minute clip about virtualizing the University of Indiana. It just happened recently, and we're seeing a lot more of that using the desktop virtualization product. But NetScaler down there in the bottom right-hand corner is a network load balancing appliance. There's a physical box. You'll see it in the video I'm going to show here in a couple of minutes. It has a virtual NetScaler as well. So it is estimated that 75% of internet users touch Citrix product, largely because of the NetScaler product. So Amazon uses it. You'll see all the different companies that are listed on the chart there. But they use that to redirect network traffic to different servers and whatnot. So a lot of the online shopping is done with equipment that has NetScaler on our back end. So that's why I asked for a quick show of hands, just to see how many people might even know a lot about Citrix. In my experience, is not a whole heck of a lot. So Citrix has been around the block for a while. I started in 1989. In 2010, it had revenues of just shy of $2 billion. I don't have the 2011 number, but even if I had, I'm not allowed to disclose it. It's going to be another 2 more weeks before I'm allowed to do that. But it's over $2 billion. So it's been around the block for a while. It's a pretty good-sized company, and it's got a lot of enterprise users. There was a 200,000 virtualized desktop installation going over in the UK that Citrix landed last year. So it's a lot of virtualization happening, and a lot of our desktop virtualization is driving a lot of our business right now. The other thing I want to point out is the product categorization in the bottom right-hand corner there. So we have, again, our desktop virtualization product solutions. We have our cloud infrastructure, which is really growing rapidly. We've got our networking solutions. I mentioned the NetScaler, and our collaboration products, which is GoToMeeting and the like. And then lastly, in the upper right-hand corner is our certification. So we have professional certifications for our products, and we're going to talk about how it aligns with the courses that we're going to be offering in the Citrix IT Academy program. So Citrix helping out education move to the cloud. This is a short little 2-minute demo. I'm going to do 2 of them. This is the first of the 2 on Indiana University deploying the private cloud. And on the bottom right, I'm not going to show it, but if you want to search, go to YouTube and search for My FCC. That's Scottsdale Community College. That's about a little over 4-minute video there. It has a little more detail about how a community college is virtualizing an entire campus and allowing your students access to all their applications and all their different desktops. But I'm going to show you the shorter one here with Indiana University. Give you an idea. There we go. Uh-oh, volume. Huh. Wow. Playing an important role in the higher education. University is based university. With a large university and we get about 100,000 students every semester. Okay, good. I'm sorry. About 17,000 faculty and staff, and about 15,000 part-time support staff as well.
The university has an IT strategic plan called Empowering People. And one of the actions in that plan is to best leverage the investments of the university for information technology delivery.
We had a strategic vision that we could provide virtualization at the level of the enterprise that could deliver on-demand, self-service applications to students, staff, and faculty on any device, anywhere, anytime. Our solution is based on the Citrix product. Whatever you like about Citrix is that it makes the computing experience easier for the end user. They want to go to an environment and just click on it, use it, print it, store it. So what that means then is instead of a student having to go to a Windows lab when they're a Macintosh user to access a certain piece of software, they now have access to that software on their iPads, on their devices that aren't Windows oriented. What this allows us to do is actually create a cloud experience for accessing applications for students. Just give me a device, any device, that can access the web, it has a browser, and I can get to any applications, I can get to my mail, I can get to my file storage, and I can work, and I can be productive. Private cloud is very important at Indiana University because we own the security. We own the storage. We actually set the standards and the structures around the way that technology is used.
I hope that this really becomes a whole new model for how to deliver information technology to the personal computing device for higher education.
Citrix is creating new ways for people, IT, and universities to work, making it possible to have both freedom for users and control for IT.
So that was a 2-minute example there of Indiana University, sorry about that, that has virtualized their campus to get a private cloud, and it has all been a lot of money. A lot of money from the university side, a lot of money from the student side. Students do not have to purchase their software anymore. The university purchases the software, puts it in the data center, virtualizes the applications, and especially saves a lot of money for high-end, graphics applications, the AutoCAD and whatnot, so that the students can then access that software to do any type of lab work on any device from anywhere. So it saves the university quite a bit of money. It's also saving the students quite a bit of money. The other quick advantage of virtualizing a campus is those older machines. Because you virtualize the application or you virtualize the desktop, let me turn this down. It doesn't matter what the endpoint device is. It could be an old 286 computer. You could be running a latest version of AutoCAD or latest version of Microsoft Office, or put a Windows 7 desktop on an old 286 box. So virtualizing desktops, virtualizing applications saves campuses a lot of money and saving students an awful lot of money. So again, I encourage you to take a look at the My SAC for Scottsdale Community College. Do that search on YouTube, and it's another nice little video about how Citrix technology and virtualization in general is saving education quite a bit of money and making it more efficient. So no question about it, the cloud era is here. You guys have been hearing an awful lot about the cloud in multiple presentations. I pulled out some slides on graphics and statistics. By now you guys might even be getting sick and tired of hearing all the stuff about the cloud, but it's coming. There's no question about it. So this stat here from the IUC talks about $11 billion industry by 2013. And it's, I think, kind of obvious to everybody that everybody needs this talent. If a campus is going to a virtualized environment, they're going to need the talent in order to maintain the cloud or the virtualized infrastructure that the campus has. Businesses are virtualizing, and they need talent to go ahead and architect and maintain those clouds. So big need. If you don't subscribe to CompTIA Smart Brief, I get in my inbox every single morning, and I decided to post the little picture in the bottom right-hand corner because it came in a CompTIA Smart Brief, it's a little newsletter type of thing, and it keeps me on top of the industry, just little snippets of stuff. But you see the lower right-hand corner is talking about the hiring of cloud computing talent is up 61% year over year. Okay, enough. I think you get it. We need talent. So like other IT vendors, Citrix is moving into this academic space and providing resources, curriculum and free resources, videos, white papers, all that type of stuff. Why are we doing it? Because Citrix as a company, as well as the other IT vendors who have academic programs, they need the talent to grow as a business. We are getting our Citrix partners and our Citrix customers saying, love your solution, not sure I can buy it because I've done some research and I can't find anybody to hire. So it just blows me away, and I'm sure you guys too, in this environment we have today where the unemployment is so high, but yet there are an awful lot of jobs out there. So we've got some work to do in terms of educating a workforce that is prepared for this whole cloud era. Okay, so we talked about a little bit about Citrix's products. We talked about how education itself is using Citrix products to create the private clouds for the different colleges and universities. What else are we doing to help out education? So that's where I was hired here, is to develop and roll out the Citrix Academic Network. If you didn't pick up our brochure and a business card in the table there, feel free to do so on the way out. But the Citrix Academic Network is just a collection of our free resources in programs that I'm putting together for the academic community. Why? To educate instructors and students on virtualization and cloud computing. So right now I've got two main programs. One is the academic community. It's an open community for students and educators. And we're going to take a look at some of the free resources that you have available just to get started if you want. Use them however you want to use them. And then the Citrix IT Academy program is similar to NetApp's Academy, Cisco's Academy, the other academies that are out there. And by the way, they all complement each other nicely. And I'll show you an example of what's going on at Florida State College in just a couple more slides. So the first question, Pat.
I'm not sure if it's good to interrupt you.
That's all right. No problem.
So this could be geared for community college as well, is that correct? Even though you've been mainly using, oh no, wait, you just say SEC, but I was just wondering about your academic lines, right?
Yeah, the two examples, Indiana University and Scottsdale, were examples of using Citrix products to virtualize the campus. Now we're moving into programs here. So what programs do you guys have?
You got programs at community colleges.
Correct.
You do.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said you do not. We do not at this point.
Okay.
This one, I'm kind of launching this today, a soft launch. We're going to do an official launch in Q2. Yeah. So you're getting hot off the press stuff. We've been working on it for a number of months now.
Where do you have the academic program going on right now?
We have some pilots. We got one in Australia. We've got two over in Europe. In the U.S., we have Florida State College in Jacksonville, Broward College down in Fort Lauderdale, because that's where Citrix is headquartered down there. Montgomery County Community College outside Philadelphia, Moraine Valley up in Chicago area, and folks might know Amber Healer down in DeKalb College in Texas, Frisco, the Convergence Technology Center down there. So one of my pitches to you guys would be, I'm looking for some early adopters for the West. I don't have anybody yet. So that'll be kind of another plea that will come at the end. So once you see this, if you're interested, let's talk. Okay, so the academic network community is right now kind of a little bit of a skeleton website. I'll pop out in a little bit and I'll show you. But on the very far right of the slide here, it talks about the Get Started Now. Those are free resources that we have put together for you guys to take a look at now. They're free videos, which I'm going to show you my second and last one here on what is Zen Desktop. So just to give you an idea, it's a little snippet, a little learning bite that you can incorporate into your existing classes, whether it's a Cisco Networking Academy class, but you want to start incorporating some of the stuff. It's completely up to you. We've got white papers. We've got case studies. So you take a look at those resources and then use however you want. If you want to get into the CS area, we've got software API, software developer kits. We've got the Zen server, virtualized server simulator. So you can do a lot of stuff. We want to start working with you on how best you can use some of these resources we have, and then promote it out to others and say, hey, here's school X did, use our Zen server simulator to do Y, and try it, that type of thing. So we're going to be building a whole community around how you guys use your resources and allow you to post your own resources down the road. So my second and final video, rather short one, it's a little over 3 minutes, but it's part of the free resources we have on the website, and it's what is the Citrix Zen Desktop. So I'm going to pop out. Just turn up the volume on that one, I guess. Right. And this would be something you just want to show somebody, hey, take a look at it. This is what desktop virtualization is all about. Let me go ahead and play.
Managing multiple desktops and applications is getting more difficult and more expensive. IT managers can barely keep up with updates and new OS rollouts, let alone maintain security standards for every PC. And what happens when you need to get a new office up and running quickly? Citrix Zen Desktop can help. Here's how. Instead of installing an operating system, applications, and user profile on hundreds of individual PCs, you package them as single images in the data center, then dynamically assemble virtual desktops for each user. Single instance management means you only need to apply patches and updates once. It means you need far less storage space to handle the same number of desktops. And centralized data control means higher security compliance throughout the enterprise. So IT can roll out new desktops or new branch offices instantly, apply updates and patches more efficiently, and even roll out Windows 7 in a fraction of the time it would take in a traditional desktop environment. Best of all, users can access their desktop from anywhere, at any time, on any device. Different types of users need different types of desktops, so Citrix Zen Desktop with FlexCast delivery technology supports every major desktop virtualization model in a single integrated solution. Hosted shared desktops provide locked-down, standardized desktops for task users who don't need a personalized experience. VDI supports a hosted virtual desktop solution for office workers with average processing needs. Blade PCs deliver hosted desktops to technical and graphics professionals who need heavy processing power. Desktop streaming leverages existing processing power in a local PC, providing an easy, low-cost way to deliver virtual desktops to on-site users connected to your local area network. Virtual applications let you provide offline applications to an existing desktop, allowing mobile users to disconnect from the network. And local VN desktops will extend the full benefits of virtual desktops to mobile workers in an offline environment. FlexCast allows you to deliver any combination of these technologies, all orchestrated from one centrally managed solution. But regardless of which type of desktop FlexCast delivers to your users, They deserve the same high performance they expect from their local PC. Citrix HDX technology provides them with a blazing fast, high-definition user experience that rivals their local machine, even for flash and multimedia content, webcams, audio, USB peripherals, and 3D graphics applications. And because Zen Desktop is managed by IT in the data center, users never have to deal with patches, updates, or application conflicts. Just a high-performance desktop wherever they need it. Unlike other solutions on the market, only Citrix Zen Desktop delivers maximum flexibility from FlexCast delivery technology, fast and reliable performance through the HDX user experience, and the freedom to access your desktop from anywhere, at any time, on any device. Citrix Zen Desktop, the clear choice in desktop virtualization.
Okay, so you saw maybe a little bit of Citrix selling in there, but these are, again, these little snippets that you can incorporate in your classroom or just say, hey, go out and take a look at this citrix.com/academic, or get these resources and just take a look at it. I want to point out one thing before we move away from the screen here. Some of you might already have a VMware infrastructure in place. It doesn't matter. Zen Desktop sits on top of either VMware, Hyper-V, or even we've optimized our Citrix Zen Server, our virtualized server product, to work with Zen Desktop too. So it's not tied just to Citrix products. It's a multi-vendor.
Just quick.
Yeah.
So this is like another machine, and then you can run applications on the.
You load up an application on a server in the data center, and then the software virtualizes it.
I have the image, so I can load this on top of my.
Yes. Yep.
And then have other machines on.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. We've got colleges around the country that have both in their data center Zen Server, our virtualization server software, and working with Zen Desktop, or their VMware, which a lot of them are, right? And the Zen Desktop will work with that VMware infrastructure.
Zen over the image.
Let's talk afterwards. I can give you 100 different. There are advantages. It's probably the biggest one here, without getting a multi-minute spiel here, is our Zen server, our virtualized server product, is optimized to work with our Zen Desktop product. Right, it's from the same company. So Zen Desktop does work with VMware, does work over Hyper-V, and actually we're strong Microsoft partners too. So if you've got a Hyper-V environment, it's optimized pretty well for that as well. But that's probably the biggest thing, but there are other advantages, and we could talk about it after the session. Another question?
Yeah, if we were to incorporate this into our classes, is there a cost for this software?
If you are just, these free resources I just showed you on the Academic Network community, these white papers and videos, that's all free. The software, right now, we're not giving away for free to anybody. You have to become an IT Academy.
And what's the cost?
Free. Free, and I'm going to get into that. The majority of the remainder of the slides will be on the IT Academy program, but great questions. Is there another question on that?
How does your product compare to Windows remotely?
You can do a lot with Windows Remote Desktop. Performance, that's why we work very closely with Microsoft, and we actually do, our sales folks do joint sales calls, and Microsoft is interested in us selling our product because in the data center you have to have Microsoft Server is a big seller, right? So that fact aside, they will go into a sales call with us, and they will push our Zen Desktop with our HDX technology because it's better optimized. Yeah. Okay, go back. Okay, so we talked about the Citrix Academic Network and the free resources. If you go here, citrix.com/academic, that'll be our main site. We're still developing it out, but you go there and you click on Instructor, and you'll be able to see all those free resources listed you see on the right-hand side there. One other thing before we go on to the Citrix IT Academy program, and that is, as a minimum, try this, or have your students just go and do it. Test drive the cloud. Just go to the URL, citrixcloud.net. All you have to do is put in first name, last name, email address. It's going to pop up with this information here. it's going to ask the student what's their mobile device. Right now, I know you cannot see it, but I have this set up here, and using Citrix Receiver, which is a light client, you can download for free. The Android marketplace, the iPhone, it's one of the hot downloads for Apple, from the Apple Store, is a Citrix Receiver. Why? Because it's a small client you load on a device that allows that device to display Windows 7 desktop, Windows XP desktop, Linux desktops, it doesn't really matter, or individual applications. So the device doesn't matter. So they put in what their mobile device is. I'm also running, hopefully the session is still up, but it won't take too much time. So here's the demo environment on my tablet. This is an Acer tablet, Android-based. I had to download, fill out this information here. I had to download the Citrix Receiver, and now a student or yourself can go ahead and play in a virtualized environment. I can go ahead and over here, so my connection is still up here. I'm going to click on the Windows 7 desktop, and it's going to go out and run a Windows 7 desktop on my Acer tablet. If you had an iPad, 4G iPad in a taxi, as long as you had a connection, you could actually run a Windows 7 desktop in your applications in the taxi somewhere. That's what this whole cloud and virtualization is all about. Accessing anything, anywhere, on any device, anytime you want. So if you do nothing else, play around with this and just, for free, have your students go play around just to learn a little bit more about the virtualized environment. So if they've got a phone, they've got a tablet, and they've got a computer, they can go from one session to the other. So I can actually open up Microsoft Word. I'm not going to have time to do it here. Look at the clock. I can open up Microsoft Word, type in a document, save it here, and then put my tablet down, go to my laptop or my phone or somewhere else and simulate I'm going from home to work, and then log in here, and it's going to disconnect the session, and it's going to pick me up right where I left off on my other device. Because the desktop, or a whole session, is being stored in the data center back in your organization. So neat little simple demo, or you don't have to demo it, just tell them to go play with it. So free stuff. Okay, now let's go move on to the IT Academy program. Welcome. Come on in. The other major program that I'm working on, and still not finished, is the IT Academy program. I mentioned that it's under pilot mode. It's a global program that teaches students and instructors about virtual computing and the very high in-demand virtualization skills. We have 3 courses that we provide approved IT academies. Our virtualized server class called Zen Server, our virtualized desktop called Zen Desktop, and our virtualized application administration course called Zen App. Each one of those 3 courses in the program aligns to a certification exam. Students who would be successful taking 1, 2, or all 3 of our courses in a program if you choose to adopt, this is their background. They need to have a strong foundation in server OS basic networking, not a lot of networking. If they have a Microsoft Server certification, that's kind of a prime candidate, or somebody with the equivalent experience. Those are the 3 courses. And I'll have this presentation posted later on and available for folks. Because we're designing this from the ground up, I'm leveraging the courses that we provide to students who spend thousands of dollars taking our commercial training center classes. So they're written as 30 content hours. That includes lecture and lab time. So they're delivered over a week-long format in a commercial training center class, right, to accommodate for lunch and breaks and that type of stuff. But it's really 30 content hours for lecture and lab. Those are the 3 course names again. Very effective for administrators in preparing them to set up and manage the desktops and the applications in the data center so that somebody can use them as a desktop on demand, anywhere you want, any device. That's what you learn in the class. And then here's our virtualized server class. My recommendation would be to start off with Zen Desktop Administration. It's easier from the equipment standpoint. I'm going to talk about equipment in just a couple minutes. It's sexier. It's really a wow type of stuff. So they can set up and get a desktop, a Windows 7 desktop on an old 286 PC, or even put it on an Apple iPad. That's kind of wow stuff. And then the certification alignment is in the far right-hand column.
Let me ask you,
Sure.
before you move away from the
Yep.
slide, could this be a one course at a community college, like 3-unit course?
Be too much. It'd be too much.
Well, each of them are 30 hours, right?
Correct.
Oh, each one. Oh, I see. I thought it was all together.
Yeah.
What would be the order you would recommend after desktop?
Either one of these two, obviously. But here's the question I'd ask: are you a VMware Academy?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so that comes into play here, right? So you may not even want to do Zen Server because you're already doing VMware. So then I'd use ZenApp. If you take a look at all the IDC reports and everything, you know, Citrix is a desktop and application leader. VMware is a server leader. But we've got a Zen Server, and the market's growing pretty quickly. We've got a free Zen Server simulator, too, that might play into your decision here to do Zen Server. This is the more challenging course to deliver as an instructor, and it also requires more equipment to deliver the class. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about the equipment later on.
Do you need the Zen Server to do the ZenApp?
No, because ZenApp and Zen Desktop will sit on top of either VMware, Hyper-V, or Zen Server. Okay, good question. This is an example I mentioned earlier about Florida State College in Jacksonville. They've got a brand new Network AS program. So on the left-hand side, they list the 5 core courses that they require for that particular program, and then they broke it down into 6 optional tracks for the student. Notice this is a new one here. Notice the network virtualization track. What they have done is taken a multi-vendor approach, which is perfect. So server, MS server class, directory services, you guys can read the list there, but it's made up of multiple vendors. That's just the way Florida State is doing it. If you want to incorporate NetApp as part of your program, Mark is the man to talk to right over there, our NetApp person too. And my only last comment on this is, I know Mark, actually met him for the first time yesterday. I know the other managers of the academic programs, and we're all in this together, and the best interest is to serve the students. Yeah, we maybe can compete on a company-to-company basis, but in the academic environment with our academic programs, we want you to be able to have the option to put together the best program for your students. So talk to everybody, make your own decision. Program benefits. We already talked about the curriculum, so we offer the 3 courses. If you just want to adopt one, that's fine, but all 3 of them are available. We're giving away free certification exam vouchers, not discounted, but free. We know that times are tough. We know that we're one of the last IT vendors to get into the academic program space, and you guys are going to have to figure out if you want to adopt our program, you have to kind of boot something else out. I know it's difficult times right now, so we're going to provide a free exam voucher for each one of the courses to each student that successfully completes the class. So if they take all 3, and you as an instructor said they passed all 3, then we'll give you a free exam voucher. The software and licensing that is required for your lab to teach the classes, not for your campus. This is just for teaching purposes.
Oh, Dan, and you're not doing this as long as it's through a Citrix Academy, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. Exactly.
That's good because the students can't do this on their own.
That's correct. Okay. For instructors, we're offering free self-paced online versions of those 3 courses that includes remote lab access. So even though you might not have the infrastructure or the money to build up your infrastructure and start getting ready to teach your courses right away, it's okay because our free online courses will provide free remote lab access. This is like a $4,000 value per course that we're giving away to instructors for free, so you can prepare ahead of getting ready to teach yourself. Question?
There's a big startup cost, obviously, with any academic academy that we're looking at doing. And if you're looking for people on the West Coast to do it, so you're giving us a lot of free stuff, is there an opportunity, or would you consider hosting the hardware that we could remotely access for our class as an initial setup to try it, rather than going through the expense of, if we don't have a server, we're going out and spending the $20,000 for the infrastructure?
Let's talk. Yes, money is very tight, even on our side.
If you've got a server someplace that we could use, as a, test.
Yeah. I am open for any kind of recommendations. I will say this, out of the gate here, that we are requiring the institutions who want to participate in the Citrix IT Academy program have their own equipment. I'm going to show you a list here.
What that is.
I do. Yep. You probably have most of it. If you start off with XenApp, much lesser equipment requirements than teaching a Xen server, where you have to have actually 2 physical boxes, 2 servers. I am looking at 2 other options to reduce the cost. I can't talk about them right now, but looking at trying to make this as low cost option to get into this program as possible. But out of the gate,
Requirements for a server.
yeah, I have those. There are 2 slides actually I want to show you, and hang on to that thought, and I'll show you what they are. And again, I'll be sending out the presentation for those that want.
You talk about somewhere in the requirements for faculty to teach.
I don't. I have my program guide, which I'd be happy to send you as well. It's very similar, and that's what the program guide, just a little brochure there, but email me and I can email you a copy of the program guide. It's near final because, again, still designing the program and rolling it out and piloting it, so some things are going to change. But it's very similar to other IT Academy programs. Instructor needs to be certified on the course before they deliver it. Now, how they get certified, there are a couple of different routes. We are going to have instructor training throughout the year at various sites. We had a 2-week instructor enablement down at Cullen College in Texas last summer. We had one in Moraine Valley in Chicago over the summer. We're going to have more of those throughout the country. And also building this as a 2-tier kind of regional academy model, which I'll talk about in another slide too, where they will do faculty training. So we will enable the regionals, and the regionals will train the local academies.
This free online teaching faculty, is that sort of like what you go through first before going through the test or the certification course?
Yep, it's for you if you're the one teaching the Citrix technology classes, but it's also free for any of the faculty at your college. I don't care if they teach chemistry. Citrix is interested in getting education up into the whole cloud.
Does that get me to be certified to teach the course?
Yes. Well, you have to pass the exam, yes. But that is the preparatory tool.
So you wouldn't have to go through a training program. I could do it on my own.
I have the flexibility to make that call based upon an instructor's background. If they're coming from teaching Microsoft Office and they go through the class, no, I'm going to require them to go to an in-person trainer-trainer class. So, that type of thing.
But you could take that course and not have previous networking experience.
You need to get that prerequisite slide. If you have Microsoft Server, if you have a Microsoft Server cert, you have a basic foundational network background to be successful in teaching and delivering if you're an instructor in these 3 courses. Great questions. The last bullet item here on the slide, to be developed as much of the program is, the job opportunity program. I am chartered with making sure that the students that come out of your programs that are Citrix Smart are at least have the opportunity to talk to a Citrix customer and a Citrix partner within the area to try and line up jobs, because again, Citrix as a company is, the talent gap is, or lack of talent is a governor on the growth engine, if you will. And so we're all interested in getting jobs for students. Qualifications and restrictions. Again, most other IT academies have this. I came from Cisco, I came from some program, very familiar. Right, we cannot cannibalize our commercial training center business, so we have that restriction in here, minimum of 4 weeks to deliver one of our classes. Why? Commercial training center, we do it in 1 week. So it's getting close to that 1 week, and they would fire me if I started stealing revenue from our commercial training center business, but they are very much interested in helping out education. So on the qualifications, I'm not going to read the list, again, pretty typical. Right? Credit education. You need to have the equipment to start off with until I can announce some other options, low-cost options. And the software can only be used for delivering these Citrix classes. Here's the support model. I came from Cisco. I saw it work. Over 9,000 academies, and this was the way it grew the program, was through a multi-tiered model. We have a 2-tier model. So I am very much interested in anybody who would be interested in talking about becoming a regional academy for either Northern California, Southern California, up in the northwest area. So let's be in touch if you're interested. But the regional academies will provide instructor training and support down the road to the local academies. Program fee, no cost. Curriculum, e-courseware I put at a nominal cost. A couple months ago, I had the word free there. It still may turn out when we launch the program in Q2, free. My management is taking a look at stuff with the economy and everything and saying, Dan, we need to make this a sustainable program. Not a big surprise. We're not a huge company. We can't afford to give stuff away. We want to make it very as cost-effective as possible for you to implement. The equipment side of thing, I'll show you the list, 2 slides coming up here. Free teaching software, we talked about it. The free certification exam vouchers for the instructors to get certified to deliver, as well as for the students who complete the class. In the instructor training, we'll have a number of different avenues for you to get trained on. So your participation level is up to you. If you want to keep it low cost, very low cost, go the free route. Go to citrix.com/academic and take a look at all of the free resources, some of which we looked at a little bit earlier on. No equipment requirements, no certified instructor, just go use it however you want to use it. And then there's that higher investment option, the IT Academy program, more formal program, certified instructors, equipment, and the whole 9 yards. So next steps. Go to our website, citrix.com/academic, and over here is where those free resources are under instructors for you guys. If you want to kind of get us started on some white papers and some of those learning bite videos and whatnot. Requesting for more information, so up in the top of that website, once you get there, you'll see the request information for students and instructors. Click on that. I'll eventually get the information, and we'll get in touch with you. And if you're interested in Regional Academy, perhaps, or even an early adopter, not a Regional Academy, but an early adopter, you have the funds and the resources to do that, let's talk. So in summary, Citrix, your trusted advisor in education, as a partner, not only in a partner and a solutions partner with the products that we have, but also in the programs where we want to provide the resources for you to educate your students and prepare them for the cloud jobs. And then we already talked about that. I just want to wrap up here with those last 2 slides on the equipment. So here are the delivery options. Option 1 is 2 systems per student. Now this is a Teach the Zen server class. So gigahertz PC running Windows XP or Windows 7. This you may not have. These are the servers. The VT or the AMD chip is required. And then some low-cost storage. Option number 2, I've got my pilot down in Australia, Foxville Institute. They're using a Cisco gear and setting up their labs with a Cisco gear. A variety of different ways to do it. Again, I want to come up with an option where you don't necessarily have to have the equipment to operate our classes. And this is just a little bit more of a table format on the equipment. Not too bad. Nowadays, most schools will have a fair amount of that equipment. Yeah.
So how many connections at one time, concurrent connections to that hypervisor, Citrix server?
I'm not sure what you're asking.
Well, in a class of 35 or 30, could it all be connected at once and run fast applications?
Yep. I don't know if you're here at the beginning. Citrix just landed a 200,000 virtualized desktop installation over in the UK. So yeah, they got data centers
on one machine.
No, not on one machine. 2 now. It's optimized. That's what virtualization is all about. Of course, you have to have the resources and network bandwidth and all that good stuff. So, other questions? I know we're approaching here at the end of the time here.
How many colleges today in California are already using
I know you came a little bit late here. That was my plea. I need some. 0 right now on my pilot. I contacted 4 of them, and they just could not have the resources to get on the big one. Well, the only thing I can't do is any extra funds for equipment, because everything else is free. That's the problem.
How about in the Mid-Atlantic region?
I want to grow. I want to grow, add more regionals. Where are you coming from?
Baltimore.
Baltimore?
Yeah, we're a similar NSF AT center to Cassia. We do a lot of work with them.
Okay.
I'd be interested in
Did you see me afterwards? Just have a card and I can write on it. We'll stay in touch on that.
Just out of curiosity, what is the job demand? I was doing a search on Yelp right now for this region, is there a lot of demand for this equipment?
I actually pulled out a slide for the sake of time here. If I had it in there, did a monster search or whatever. If you look up Citrix, the job ranges are in the mid-60s up to low 100s for those that are certified as a Citrix certified architect. But again, you have to have that foundational experience. There are jobs all over the place, and that's why Citrix wants to roll out this program. So. There are brochures in my card here on the table on the way out, so I want to thank you for your time. I'll stick around if you have a couple more minutes.